Oliver had always been fascinated by the abandoned house at the end of Ravenswood Lane. The dilapidated mansion stood shrouded in mystery, its windows broken and its walls covered in a thick layer of ivy. No one in the village dared to go near it, for it was said to be haunted by the ghost of Lady Evelyn, who had died under mysterious circumstances a century ago. One dark and stormy night, Oliver's curiosity got the better of him. Armed with only a flashlight and a sense of adventure, he decided to explore the haunted mansion. As he pushed open the creaking front door, a cold gust of wind greeted him, sending a shiver down his spine. The inside of the house was even more eerie than he had imagined. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling like ghostly drapes, and the air was thick with the smell of decay. Oliver's footsteps echoed through the empty halls as he made his way deeper into the house. Suddenly, he heard a faint whisper. His heart raced as he followed the sound, leading him to a grand staircase. At the top stood a spectral figure in a flowing white dress. It was Lady Evelyn. Her eyes glowed with an otherworldly light as she beckoned him to follow. Oliver felt a chill run through him, but he couldn't tear his eyes away from the ghostly figure. With each step he took, the temperature seemed to drop, and the air grew heavier. Even though fear gripped his heart, his curiosity pushed him forward. Lady Evelyn led him to a hidden room behind a bookcase. Inside, he found an old diary that belonged to her. As he read the diary by the flickering light of his flashlight, he discovered the truth about her death. Lady Evelyn had been murdered by her jealous husband, who had buried her body in the basement of the mansion. Just as Oliver finished reading the final entry, he felt a cold hand grip his shoulder. He turned, and there stood a transparent figure of Lady Evelyn. She wasn't hostile, instead, her eyes pleaded for help. "Free me," her voice echoed in his mind. Determined to lay her spirit to rest, Oliver ventured into the dark basement. As he descended the stairs, the air grew colder, and the sense of dread intensified. In the corner of the basement, he found a makeshift grave. With trembling hands, he began to dig using an old, rusty shovel. Hours passed, and finally, he uncovered a skeletal hand. As he unearthed the remains, the house seemed to come alive with the sounds of whispering and footsteps. A sense of urgency gripped him as he hurried to give Lady Evelyn a proper burial. At the break of dawn, Oliver buried the remains in the village cemetery and recited a prayer. The moment he finished, he felt a warm breeze, and a sense of peace washed over him. Lady Evelyn's ghost appeared one last time, her expression serene and grateful. Then, she slowly faded away, leaving Oliver standing alone in the early morning light. The mansion at Ravenswood Lane now stood silent and still, no longer haunted. Oliver's bravery had freed the tormented spirit, and the village would speak of his courage for generations to come.